Most of the time when I'm playing in the rack of the week, it's on a Brunswick with 5-inch pockets. Sometimes I'm playing on a diamond, which will have 4 3/4, 4.5-inch pockets. This week's rack of the week is on a diamond with, I think it's 4-inch pockets. I didn't have a tape measure, but you can see the size of the pockets in comparison to the balls here. Usually there's a one-pocket game going on this table almost every day. I got lucky and I got in on this table and I was able to play for an hour or so. And what did I do? I played some straight pool. Welcome to this week's Rack of the Week. How do you play straight pool on a tight pocket table? Well, for one thing, you can't cheat the pocket as much. So I think you have to play with more precision with your cue ball positioning. And I think you want to try to play for less angle on your cut shots. You'd think that it's harder to scratch on a tight pocket table, and it is. But this shot is almost identical to the shot that ended Jason Shaw's 714 ball run. So as you can see, it can happen. So you can't be careless. You pretty much have to play the same way. Here's attempt number 2. What you don't want to do is be intimidated because you still need to stroke the ball. The balls are going to behave exactly the same way. The only thing that's different is that the opening is narrower. And if you're aiming for the center of the pocket, then you're aiming for the center of the pocket and the ball's going to go in. Now that may sound a little bit trite. No one's perfect and we're going to shoot with a little bit of inaccuracy. But you don't want to get lazy when you're playing on a table with 5-inch pockets. You've got to strive for center pocket or you're going to be lost when you end up on a table with tighter pockets. Now I didn't quite stroke that break shot with enough follow, so I kind of got stuck to the top of the rack. I'm a little bit fortunate to have a shot in the side pocket, and those are some small side pockets. So I wasn't doing anything with the cue ball. I knew that the cue ball was going to come roughly the way it did, and I would have a shot on this 13. From this point, I'm not getting too ambitious with the balls in the center of the table. I'm just rolling forward to get a shot on this 2 past the 1. I know I'm pretty confident I'm going to be able to make a break ball in some fashion. So right now I'm shooting the 2 simply to clear a lane. That's going to open up the pocket for these balls that are in the center of the table and for the 1 ball. When you shoot this ball, if you notice, I used left English. You don't want to use straight high because the cue ball might come this way and you end up against the rail. And believe me, when you're shooting into tight pockets, you don't want to be against the rail. So I deliberately put a whole bunch of left English just to get the cue ball off the rail. This shot is positioned on the 8. And what I was hoping was to be straighter on the 8 because I wanted to go to the bottom rail and up into these balls, expecting the 1 ball to be an insurance ball or possibly the 6 ball, depending on what happened. What I should have done, and I'm a little embarrassed that I didn't see, was to play position for the 8 and the 6 at the same time, because if I was just a little bit low on the 6, it would have been easy to pocket the 6, follow forward, manufacture a break ball, and have the 8 ball as an insurance ball and possibly the 9 ball on the side as an insurance ball as well. So that didn't quite work out. I've got a little bit too much angle. I can try and come around back to center table and do something. So I'm trying to decide what to do right now, and I finally decide my best chance is to shoot the 6 and give myself an angle like this on the 8 so that I can bring the cue ball back into these balls. And I'm assuming then that no matter what happens, and I might want to pause this. Yeah, I'll pause it right now. So what I'm hoping is that no matter what happens, I'm going to have a shot. So I see the cue ball hitting the 11 ball full, and I have a shot on the 1 ball or on the 9 ball on the side. If the cue ball hits the 14 more directly, it shouldn't go too far, and I should have a shot on the 12 ball on the side of the corner, possibly the 7 ball back here. If the cue ball hits this stripe ball thinly, it should come off this way, and I should have a shot on the 1 back this way or one of these balls in the side. That's my least desirable outcome. So I'm really going to be aiming carefully on this. Like I said, more precision is required. And I really want to hit these balls full. But what happens is, after I walk around to this side of the table, right there, I decide, wait a minute, I've got a better plan, something that's higher percentage. What I notice when I walk around here is that the 14 ball goes right there. And so I like playing position here. for the 14. So playing for options. If I get low, then I can stun the cue ball into the 12 and move it, and I have these balls back to shoot back in this corner. If I get straight in, I can kind of do the same thing, just stop the cue ball and shoot either the 7 ball or the 12 ball on the side. If I use my position zone, if I end up high, no problem. I can run into the 7 ball and either have a shot on the 7 there, this stripe ball here, or the 12 ball back on the side. So this looks like a much better play, more desirable outcomes than trying to run into them in this direction off the 8 ball. And if I happen to land just right on that 14 ball, I could send the cue ball forward into the 9, pushing the 9 just over a little bit into better break ball position, and then I'll have a shot probably on this ball or the 7 ball into this corner pocket. And I also noticed at the same time that this 9 ball can be used as a break ball. It's clear of the rack by a good inch or so. So I probably don't need to make a break ball. And so, running into the balls in this direction has a better chance of moving one of these balls over into break ball position. So that's a selling point for this route. But I decide to commit to the 9 because of these tight pockets. I think I just want to take the higher percentage route. So because of that, a little bit of inside English to give myself this angle on the 1 ball, because then it's very natural to roll up here into that position zone. So let's see where I end up. Looks like a little bit high. So no problem. I can just draw the cue ball into the 7. And what I like is I think this cue ball should come off the 7 in this direction. So I'll have a shot on the 7 here or this stripe ball there. And that's not what happens. The cue ball hit it very much more fuller, so the cue ball didn't move this way, it just went this way. So I'm double checking the 9 ball, and it's good. I would love to shoot the 12 ball in the side right now, but I'm going to run into my break ball. So what I'm trying to do now is shoot the 7 with a soft draw spin. I don't want to come up too far, but I want a shot on this stripe so that I can play position for this ball in the side pocket next. And I ended up way short. So let's see if I get out of the way. Yeah, I've already decided what I'm going to do. Let me pause it right there. So what I see here, I came up way short of my position. The 9 is my break ball. This 12 is the break ball's brother. And he's always crowding you, and you want to get rid of him. So that's what I need to do here. So what I'm trying to do here is cut the 11, and I want to hit half of the 12, or even less than half. And I'm seeing the 12 ball go to the rail and off. I don't want the 12 ball tied up with the 4. And I'm playing a carom angle off the 12 up here for this 10 ball on the side. And, sometimes you might play it with enough speed to go all the way to the rail and back. But in this case, here's the shot line to the side pocket. I don't mind being short on this side of the shot line, because it's really easy to send your cue ball 2 rails out of this corner over here to get a shot on the 4 and the 12, which are going to be over here. So I think it may look a little bit reckless, but I think this is a pretty high percentage play. My biggest fear is the 12 ball doesn't go where I want and actually ties up with the 4. So I want to make sure that doesn't happen. I'm really trying to play this carom angle as precisely as I can so those 2 don't get tied up. So the 12 ball didn't go as far as I thought, and the cue ball went farther. Well, I had a good plan, and I'm still alive. Now, you saw me just look. If I had ball in hand, I could put the cue ball here and have a shot on the 12. That's not going to work very well. So that's a low percentage play. So I have a shot on the 10 on the side. Obviously, I need the cue ball to go past the 9, and I'm sending the cue ball into these with a little bit of speed so I can get some separation. I think there's a real good chance that I'm going to come out with a shot. When I'm down on the shot, I notice that a straight center ball is probably not going to send the object balls into there, but I don't want to use a lot of spin, because that's how you're going to miss on these tight pockets, even the side pockets. It's real easy to hit one of these points. So I'm trying to not use any spin. I think it's going to pick up a little outside spin anyway, but I'm shooting a little bit below center to make sure that the cue ball comes over and I run into the 12-4. So just a medium speed. Let's get some separation on these balls. I don't think that could turn out much better. I think that was a fortunate play, but it's what I had to do, and it came out real well. Now here, I think a lot of players might say, oh, gee, that 4 ball is a great key ball. I can get it in the side pocket. And so I'm going to shoot this 12, and I'm going to draw the cue ball way back up here. Well, these are 4-inch pockets. Yeah, that's a good shot. It's possible, but I have a very slight angle. And when you got to hit it hard, I got a good chance of rattling that ball into these 4-inch pockets. So what I'm going to do is play position for the 4 in the corner. So I'm looking at the parallel line, parallel to the rail through the 4 ball. I'd like to be on that line. I don't want to be inside it because then it's going to be hard. I want to hold my cue ball over here for position on the break shot. So I don't want to be too thin. Obviously, if you get too thick, then you're too straight in. I think I'm close enough to the 12 that I can play this well and get straight, get on this line, or a little bit past it is fine because I'll be able to stroke this ball. I'm not afraid of shooting the 4 ball with a little bit more speed because I'm going to be right on it, and I'm not trying to do too much with the cue ball. I'm just trying to bring the cue ball right over here. So I take a look at that. That's what's on my mind when shooting this 12 ball. I just have a slight angle on this 12, so this is about making the ball and minimal cue ball movement. Just enough, and it looks like I'm just a little bit outside of that line. So now I'm taking a look. I put my Q-tip here and then here. On the Gold Crown with 5-inch pockets, I might want my cue ball in this spot. But on this table with 4-inch pockets, I'd like to be here. I want more of an outside angle. I've got when I'm down on the shot, I can see the pocket. I think it's a higher percentage pocketing from there. I'm not going to be trying to blast this rack no matter what. But I think this is a higher percentage break shot with an outside angle on this type of table. So that's an example of the types of things that you do a little bit differently when the pockets are tight. So made a great shot, and I got my cue ball to position A. So I've got, it's not quite on the parallel line. It's just to the side of it, but it's close. So I've got more angle than I want, but you know what? That's too bad. This is still a short shot, not a difficult shot. I'm not going to be trying to blast this rack. All of my energies are going to be going into pocketing that ball. I want to hit the cue ball below center. I'd like the cue ball to move as little as possible, maybe a foot this way. I don't know. It might draw this way. But once that decision is made, you can see I'm cueing below center. Once that decision is made, my focus is on pocketing that ball, and I'm really zeroing in on that pocket. And notice I didn't blast it, just a nice smooth stroke. Cue ball went to the side rail and back. This is an excellent result. That's more balls came loose than I expected. And I'm actually in a real favorable position because all these balls are open to the pocket. So this is a great result. Don't be afraid of tight pocket tables. Don't think you have to do a whole lot different on them. Just remember, you're going to do the same thing that you always do, and that is aim for the center of the pocket and just commit to that and stroke the ball.